Vince is our inspiration of the day. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I'll call this meeting to order. It's a little early. Oh my goodness. Let's roll right into the day, though. It looks like we have a nice day planned on on Zoom. We have Phil and Margot and Mike Licata and Maggie. And is there anyone else on Zoom that I cannot see? That's who I can see. Did I say everybody? Perfect. And in person, we have kind of a full house. We've got Len, Darcy, Mary, Nancy, Carol, Marty, Mike Florio, Sylvia, Beth, Joe, Steve, Jill, Dave Licata, and Gerald and myself. Is that everybody? And we have Marshall just came in too. So perfect. I'll call up our inspiration today. Our inspirator is Dr. Gerald Stevens, filling in. Thank you, Gerald.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Hope you enjoy your potentially day off for those of you who are still working. Juneteenth. The older I get, the more I realize that this quote is pretty applicable to my life anyway. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. I think that goes for a lot of things. By Helen Keller.
Let us say the pledge. Stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning again, everybody. We had a change of plans for anyone who did not hear. We originally scheduled today to be the installation of our new officer team. That will be next week instead. Avis was going to do our installation, and both she had a backup last minute appointment this morning, and Eric is having his carpal tunnel surgery this morning. So please think of him today. He's got his surgery, and then he's off work for a little bit. So we will have our installation next week. He will be able to be with us in person. And we'll do breakfast in person again next week, but we'll still do Knead the Dough is still planned for today. The Knead the Dough breakfast in Ransomville around 9 a.m. after our meeting. Some of us will be caravanning and carpooling for that. So looking forward to that. We'll save other announcements for the end of the meeting, and Mary will be closing our meeting with our Toastmaster of the day, Dave Licata, one of our founders. Dave Licata. Good morning. Oh, I was going to toast. I forgot. I would love to toast to David. I brought my coffee cup up for a reason. So toast to David.
Thank you.
To David. You're welcome.
Had I known you were going to use the word founder, I would have worn my powdered wig. But then again, I do have, I'm lucky I got Grandpa Conlon's, not gray hair, silver. He would constantly remind us it was silver. All righty. Before I share a little bit of some factoids, I would be very happy if you would form a line over here, starting with Tracy Farrell. And Mike, he's on Zoom. Carol Ann, could you form a line over here? Get in line. I'm eliminating this 15-minute walk-up. And Quizmasters Margot, she's online, and Maggie's online as well. Well, all right. I just want things to move a little quicker. We got to learn some things after all these years. Okay, my children attended North Park Junior High. My mother and father both attended North Park Junior High. I found my mother's quasi-junior high yearbook from, way back, and I found out that she was recognized as most athletic woman, and I went, what? That surprised me. But of all the schools in Lockport, there was only one school that wasn't named after somebody. And my wife became active in the PTA, and she got to know the principal, and he was bemoaning that fact from time to time. So they had an opportunity. It turns out that Lockport was home to an incredibly remarkable man who didn't really care about the social norms. And when he was presented with the factoid that it was hard for black people to get ahead, he ignored it. He was amazing. Aaron Moselle was an exceptionally successful and philanthropic business owner who made significant contribution to Lockport's community. He owned a brickyard that employed a diverse workforce of over 40 people. Licata Brothers in its heyday may have had 40 people. Demonstrating his dedication to providing opportunities for people from various backgrounds, his generosity extended beyond his business as he donated the bricks for the construction of several important structures in Lockport, including the AME Church on South Street and the original Lockport High School on High Street. I never knew the original high school was on High Street. Well, think about Aaron. He did a lot of great things. All right. I'd like to introduce Tracy, who has a plethora of jobs today. And this is Tracy Farrell. She's going to start out by giving us the word of the day.
Thank you, David. I was a little surprised that you called me up here. I felt a little segregated, which brings me to the word of the day, segregation, the action or state of setting someone or something apart from others. So we'll take segregation, segregate, any form of the word. I'm the word master. I'm the master. So listen for your ahs, ums, buts, too many ands, so forth. Wig and grammarian. I had an and grammarian. I'll be listening to your grammar today. I think you have an easy day at that, Mr. Toastmaster.
All right. Oh, now we're going to go to the wonderful land of Zoom. And I believe in Studio B at 142 Elm Street, Michael Licata is ready to be our jester. Take it away, Mike.
Good morning, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, our guests. I kind of stayed away from the um, theme of the meeting joke, so I just decided to do dad jokes instead. Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing?
In case they
In
get
case
a
they
one.
correct, yep. How do you follow Will Smith in the snow? Follow the Fresh Prince.
Whoa.
And the last one this morning, what's the best thing about Switzerland? I don't know, but the flag is a big plus. Those are the
Oh.
jokes. Those are the jokes I have this morning, and turn it back over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Michael. Okay. We have a quote master. It's Carol Ann, and I dragged her up here to make a quick transition to the lectern.
I have a couple quotes from two gentlemen of color who actually were contemporaries of Aaron Moselle. The first two are from Booker T. Washington. You can't hold a man down without staying down with him. If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else. And from George Washington Carver, education is the key that unlocks the golden door to freedom. And I just wanted to comment that our youngest granddaughter, Arlen, will be going to Aaron Moselle's school next year.
Thank you so much. Our quiz master is online and she's zooming, and it's Margot Sue Bittner. Margot.
Good morning, Toastmaster Dave. So my job today is to listen to what goes on at the meeting, and at the very end, I will ask about 3 to 5 questions. It's going to be a short quiz, which means you have no idea what I'm going to come up with. And so you'll have to listen carefully and hopefully be able to answer my questions. I do ask that somebody be at the mic when I ask the question, since I won't be able to hear if you just shout it out in the middle of nowhere. So thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Margot. And now we're going to go down the Zoom hole and find out where Maggie is this week. It's Maggie Craig. She's our timer.
Good morning from Toronto. And if you hear my dog in the background, he's very unhappy that I've made him be in this room with me. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I will be timing the speeches today. Our general speeches will be between 5 and 7 minutes. There will be a green card. And like Tracy did a few weeks ago, I've improvised with children's paper. A green card for 5 minutes, yellow for 6, and red for 7. For the table topics, there will be a green card at 1 minute, a yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and the red at 2 minutes. And evaluation speeches, we normally do that, 2 minutes, 2:30, and I'm sorry, I did it wrong, 2 minutes, 2:30, and 3 minutes. And there is a 30-second, you have to speak for more than 1 minute for table topics and no more than 2.5 minutes for your speeches. There's a grace period of 30 seconds after the red. Then you must speak for 4.5 minutes. And I think that's it. I will see you periodically through the meeting to let you know how we did.
You nailed it. Thank you. All right. Aaron Moselle was a self-educated man who passionately believed that all individuals deserved a quality education. He understood that education was the key to success and equality, and he championed his belief throughout his life. In 1872, let me say this again, 1872, he initiated the process to desegregate the Lockport City School District, driven by his desire for his children and other marginalized individuals to have the same access to education as their white peers. This is my key moment for Aaron Moselle, because he did in 1878 what it took us forever to do in the next century. So that's a proud moment for Aaron and a proud moment for Lockport. We're going to do table topics now. And Darcy was all queued up in line, and then she retreated, but oh, she's coming back. Huh? Oh, general evaluator. I know he's on here somewhere.
I'm here, Dave.
Oh, it's Les?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you see me? I'm wearing a
Les
yellow
Robinson,
shirt.
that big tall guy.
I'm wearing a yellow shirt just like you, Dave. Except I'm
honored-
taller than you.
and our general evaluator is Les Robinson. Les, please fill us in on your duties.
I will be evaluating the evaluators today, and I will be evaluating the meeting. And that's basically it. And I'm looking forward to this great meeting today. Dave, I know you always do a great job, and I enjoy every time you talk.
Well, you're very kind. Well, very kind.
Thank you, Dave. Good luck.
And I said foreign. It's amazing. This club is so strong and so inviting that this lady moved away, far away, but had to come back to AM Lockport, which is very flattering. We should be very proud. And we're very proud of Darcy Colby, our table topics master.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. The table topics master calls upon several members to deliver 1.5 to 2 minute speeches on a topic announced right before the member is chosen. And I've got it from 2 different reliable sources sitting on either side of me, so I feel that pressure, that I'm told that the green is at 1:30, 1 minute 30 seconds, yellow is at 1:45, and red is at 2 minutes. So let's make sure that we're all on the same page for that. With a 15-second buffer, that's correct. But for the timer, it's really important that you hold up the cards at the right time. All right, so I've made my list and checked it twice of people that already had a job and people that didn't already have a job. History schmistery. Why do we need to learn history? Who cares? It's in the past. Who cares? Marty Johnson, tell us why it's important to learn history.
Thank you, Madam Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and any guests. It's important to know history for a number of reasons. I can remember a few years ago, I was doing some research, and it said something to the effect of, if you don't let the other generations know about history, they lose inspiration. Something along that lines of knowing your history, losing inspiration, and motivated to learn more. And I can share a brief example of history, not to segregate any specific nationality or not, but years ago, my father pulled out an old family picture, and the picture just happened to be of 4 or 5 men and a priest standing in the side yard of what's now called All Saints Parish, which is the old St. Patrick's Parish. Long story short, my great-great-grandfather, Patrick Johnston, who on the back of the picture my father showed us said was spelled John's son. My father said, "That's John Stun. That's your great-great-grandfather." And he helped build this church. He was a bricklayer from Belly Moat, I believe is the proper pronunciation. It's in the western part of Ireland, a little south of like Dublin area. But anyway, last fall I had an opportunity to go there with my sister, and we got as close as we could to the area, and it was very interesting. And come to find out, my great-great-grandfather, Patrick Johnston, immigrated here before the famine, and he was a bricklayer, and I'm very proud to share in that history and that heritage. Thank you, Madam Topics Master.
Sleeping at the wheel. Thank you, Marty. Thank you. Okay, so my next question, I felt like a teacher when I was writing these questions. Take one fact that you learned from history that had an impact on you, or surprised you, or stuck with you, and tell us about that and how it stuck with you, or surprised you, or impacted you. And I think I'll go with Phil Russell, please.
Well, Madam Topics Master, if we don't learn from history, we are bound to repeat the mistakes. Now, back in 7th grade, and I know this is going back in my personal history, I had rheumatic fever. I had a strep throat, and then it turned into rheumatic fever. Then when I was 33, I got rheumatic fever again. Not very pleasant. And while I was there, I became allergic to penicillin, what was used as the remedy, antibiotic for it. Well, consequently, after that, I turned blue and died. Fortunately, the nurses were on it. My roommate was Hankins, if you remember Hankins from Lockport. He coded it, and he pulled the switch that brought the nurses. And what happened was over this past week, and I wanted to learn from this history. I was with my two feral grandchildren. And let me tell you something. They're wonderful. Great to see them come. Good to see them go. Two things happened 4 to 6 weeks ago. Some child, when I was doing a little teaching, came up and said, I have strep throat. They came with candles dripping down from their nose. Ooh. All of a sudden, come last Monday, I started experiencing all the symptoms that I had back in 7th grade and when I was in the 30s. And I said, okay, I learned from history. I immediately called the doctor, got in at 9:30 for an appointment. They gave me the medication. I'm on it right now, and I'll be off of it on Saturday, and I feel a lot better. So we must learn from history, and I must learn to segregate myself from those feral little Madam Topics Master.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you very much for that. And last but not least, don't mean to segregate anyone. Steve Smith, would you come up and also answer that same question? Do you want me, and I'll repeat the question if you want, but, okay. Take one fact that you learned from history and how it surprised you or impacted you or stuck with you. Tell us about it and tell us how it impacted you or stuck with you or surprised you.
One fact from history. I'm drawing a complete blank on that. I've never really been a student of history. I'm fascinated by certain things. Obviously, you know my interests. I've spoken at length about them. But now looking into history. What? Stop that. I was just thinking of that. This all started, well, and this is debatable, with Galileo, who did not invent the telescope, but he did a lot of work on it and made it a lot better. The telescopes of the time were pretty poor. The glass was of poor quality. And in fact, Galileo's telescope, the objective lens of that was only about 1.5 inches. Now, those of you that know, I have a big 12-inch scope. We've come a long way since then. But you can blame Galileo for what I'm doing today, I guess. And I'm forever grateful for him for changing the whole world around, as much as he got resistance for doing it, because it balked in the face of accepted knowledge. And that's a whole discussion in and of itself, because he saw things with a scope that didn't jive with the teachings of the day, and they didn't want to hear it. Sound familiar? But I'm not going to segregate anybody or anything. We have a long, varied history. We learn slowly, but we learn. I try to learn from my own mistakes, which I'm not going to share because I probably couldn't use them here. But you gave me a very interesting topic, and strangely enough, I'm kind of lost for words. So thank you for that.
You did great, Steve. Always talk about something you know. It comes much more natural. All right. So I'm also told that I should call for a timer's report. David, I don't want to steal your thunder, but
Why your table topics master.
Good morning. Thank you for that, Darcy, for that information on timing. I downloaded my timing breakdown from Toastmasters. So I don't know.
right, because they're 1 to 2 minutes and we're 1.5 to 2 minutes, right?
Oh, I guess. So
We're a
apologies.
little bit different than the
Apologies for
national.
not knowing our own club rules in the future. And I know we're not supposed to apologize, but there we go. I apologize. Anyway, moving on. I did follow the correct breakdown as per Darcy, and Marty was at 154, Phil 219, Steve 158. I believe that means everybody qualified. Thanks.
Congratulations. That's awesome. I'd like to call on the word master for a report. Tracy Farrell.
I am proud to say that everybody used the word today in table topics, even Phil, who squeaked it in at the last minute. Thank you.
Thank you, word master. Now I'm going to turn the lectern back over to Dave, our Toastmaster for the day.
Those that do not learn history are doomed to repeat it. That's the one I like. Aaron Moselle, his relentless perseverance led to the desegregation of the Lockport City School District in 1876. This remarkable achievement occurred 80 years before the landmark Supreme Court decision in Brown versus Board of Education, which eliminated segregations in schools across the United States. So when we hear this word segregation, all we can, in my case, being the hopeless boomer that I am, all we can see is George Cordy Wallace, the governor of Alabama, going, segregation then, segregation now, segregation forever. Well, George, how did that work out for you? All right, we're going to get into the speaking portion. Our evaluator number 1 is Mary Cavanaro, and she will be evaluating Beth Banks. And we'd like to invite Mary up here to give us a little preview of what's going on with Beth Banks.
So Beth Banks' perspective is the importance of this project is for the members to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance the speech. Should I tell them her title? Please. Her speech title is 911 Importance and Humorous. Oh, it's 5 to 7 minutes. Beth Banks.
Thank you. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Of course, everyone here knows 911 is very important. First thing, it is not 9/11. It is not. The reason you need to know that, and I don't think it's as important now, but certainly when it first started being used, people would go into shock and they would look for the number 11. And there is no number 11 on your phone. So that's why they stress it is 911. The first time I called 911, I was driving on the overpass in Lockport, around the west end there. And I was driving behind someone in a car going, way over to the other side of the road. And I thought, oh, this is not good. We're just gonna slow right down, keep going behind this person, see how things develop, but I'm gonna keep the people behind me from going also. And I thought, okay, I have hands-free, so I pushed the button and I called 911 and I reported the person. And they said, well, yes, they actually had a number of calls about this person. So, okay, I'm not the only one. So I followed him around the bend. All of a sudden, he pulled off, went into the ditch, didn't apparently realize that he was not driving still. So his foot was still on the accelerator and there's mud flying everywhere. And he's digging himself more and more into the ditch. I had to laugh. I had to laugh. Yes, I called 911. It was serious, but dude, really? You just drove into the ditch, but you kept going in the ditch? That was my first experience. My second experience with 911 was actually during the cycle of the Erie. And my cousin and I were on the bridge watching what was going on. And he actually saw a young girl down by the steps of the canal appearing to be in some kind of distress. So he stayed up, I ran down. I said, you keep an eye on things so you can call people. I went down, she was sobbing, just sobbing. She had lost her family. She was about 5. Thought, okay, I don't want to scare the little girl even more, but I want to get her off those steps because she could have easily slid through. So I got her up, we got on a bench, calmed her down a little bit. I said, okay, where are your parents? And she couldn't remember where they were, couldn't find them. Okay, so I actually tried first to call Kate, and she was busy, couldn't answer the phone, so I called 911. Thinking in the back of my mind, I really hope I get Jen as the dispatcher. One of my cousins is a dispatcher, and lo and behold, I did. So at least that calmed me down. That was good, and she called the City of Lockport police. Okay, Beth, they're on their way. Good. Not too long after, the parents and many children came up to us, found the little girl. Obviously, they were the parents. She was very happy. Many children, I don't know, 6, 7, maybe 8, I don't know. I said, well, I've lost a child when I only had 4, so I get it. You know, you have that many children, there's always one that wanders away. Always. So they were reunited. That was great. They left. The city police showed up. Okay, so I told my story, what happened. Well, did you get their name? That wasn't my job. I made sure the child was alive. No, I did not get their name. I'm thinking to myself, that kind of was your role if you had gotten here on time, but okay, we're good. We're good. That's fine. My third time I called 911, I apparently just run into these scenes. I don't know. Must be me. Well, I was driving by the fairgrounds and I saw this thing ahead of me and I thought, well, that looks like a stream of water, but I can't imagine why a stream of water would be 20, 30 feet in the air. And I'm driving closer and yeah, it was a stream of water coming, looks like from the ditch. Huh, okay, I don't know why that would be. Should I call it in? I don't know. So I kept driving, came along Slayton Settlement. There's all these cops and fire trucks and whatever on Slayton Settlement. I drove further. I thought, well, they're obviously busy there. So I pulled over, I called. No one had called yet, so I was the first. Oh, it might be a water main break. Okay, the good thing is it wasn't blowing the water onto the road, it was blowing it into the woods. Just looked really kind of odd. So I called it in, got it all done, kept going into Wright's Corners. As I'm going by Wright's Corners, the second light, 2 cars ran the red light to come my way. I don't know if they were going to the scene of where the fire trucks and everything were. I don't really know. But I'm like, okay, I'm going home now, and I'm not going to leave my house again for a while. And I hope I don't have to call 911 again. Thank you very much.
Okay. Our second speaker is Katie. She has a lot of pressure. She's going to speak after her mother in a situation I don't envy. And she will be evaluated by Mike Florio. There's Mike. How are you? I'm back.
Thanks, Dave. Yes, I will be evaluating Kate, and Kate's speech will be 5 to 7 minutes this morning. It will be level 5 from the Leadership Development Program. Planning an event. Do you have the title, Dave? Do you want me to? It's a mysterious title. It's planning our meeting agendas quarterly. A short one too. Yeah, there you go. I have it. Planning our meeting agendas every quarter. Okay. My pleasure.
You're just going to slide behind the dashboard? Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kate Orr.
Thank you both. And good morning, everybody. Planning our schedules quarterly. This is not new. So, in 2 weeks, I'll be again your Vice President of Education. Yes, I have done it before several times. I have not yet beaten out the maven of VPE. Who would that be? Who's done it the most? Jackie Kenny. Jackie Kenny has been our Vice President of Education so many times. I'm catching up. And you all are helping, and I appreciate it. 2 weeks from today is our third quarter. That, for anybody who's doesn't think in quarters, my job is all about quarters and the fiscal year and et cetera. Our Toastmasters year follows a fiscal year, so that's why new officers are July 1st to the end of July the next term. So our quarters for the schedule, some clubs just plan as they go every week or get signups. I cannot imagine doing that. This is so prepared. This is so organized. We set our schedules up in advance, and my esteemed evaluator has been doing that for the last year and sets up the schedule for, I guess I'm calling it the third quarter because it's the third quarter of the year, but it's July, August, September. I'll be setting up the schedule for. I have been saying this for the last few weeks, and I appreciate those members, including our general evaluator and a couple others who aren't here today. Thank you, Les, in advance. And to those who've already told me when they can't be attending, what jobs they'd like to have or would like to avoid, any particular paths or projects they're working on. So please tell me that. Today, during my speech, we're going to set up the schedule for July 3rd, 2 weeks from today. We're going to go through the agenda that David has nicely made, and all those roles that are listed here are going to be a different person who plans to attend July 3rd. From there on out, though, I will be setting up the rest of the schedule, and Eric and Mary are helping me load them onto the website. Len is providing me with the amazing template that he and Mike have been working with, so we can make sure everybody is on there who's a dues-paying member, and that we have your contact information correctly, and that we also know your correct path and what you're working on in your projects. On our website is our quarterly schedule in a spreadsheet, and then it's updated so it's the format you can see week to week. When we're on Zoom only, one time when I'm giving a speech or I'm Toastmaster of the day this summer, I'll share my screen and we'll walk through it a little more. It's a challenge to do today, so just expect that in the coming weeks, that we'll be doing kind of a recap, tutorial, refresh to remind us all how to use the website, because it is an excellent resource. And I'm going to bet that no one in the room here, except for maybe Len, knows the website and uses it to the best advantage. There are a lot of resources most of us never touch. So on July 3rd, perfect. Even look at the Zoom wizard. If you'd like to look at your screen, this is the chart that most of you get emailed
before for the whole quarter. So once we have it scheduled, this is right now, April to June. So it's showing everybody listed, everybody who can't participate is X'd out, et cetera, et cetera. And then we rotate so that everybody has a chance to do the roles that they're choosing, or I'll put you in because maybe you need a little nudge. You can always change if you have to change your schedule. Like Eric this morning had surgery. It was off, it was on, it was off, it was on. He had surgery. He couldn't be here this morning. So you can always pull yourself off the schedule and find yourself a replacement. That would be awesome. But we'll talk about that separately. Let's get to the schedule for July 3rd. I could be your Toastmaster, but folks, I was your Toastmaster 2 weeks ago, last week, just last week. You don't need me again. Is there anyone in the Zoom space right now or in person who would like to be the Toastmaster? And that's again for July 3rd. So keep in mind, we're going right through this. And if you already have something you'd like to do, you can let me know. I don't see any hands raised. You might get, are you sure? I thought, Joe, was that a hand raise? That was not. It was Beth. Okay, Beth will be our Toastmaster of the day, July 3rd. And we will be, for my quarter, now that our attendance has been stronger, we're going to split the word grammarian and master back to the roles as you see them on the agenda today. So we'll have separate. I'm going to come back to that, though, because I usually like to get the biggest roles out of the way. And when I plan scheduling, we look at who's Toastmaster, who's the 3 speakers, and who's the table topics master and general evaluator. Those are the big roles that I fill first, and then we fill in evaluators, etc. So anybody interested in being the table topics master on July 3rd? That's my favorite job. I saw Mike Florio first. So thank you, Mike, for jumping on that. Okay, next we'll do general evaluator. Anybody? Gerald, did you want to be general evaluator instead? Okay, so we've got Gerald on. He and Mike were almost a tie for table topics. So Gerald will be our GE. Okay, let's get back to speakers. Does anyone have a speech they've got prepared? They haven't been in the lineup. They would like to be in the lineup. I'll find you. I might speak myself. We'll see. I might speak again and we'll talk about the same topic. Anybody interested in being evaluators that day on July 3rd? Any evaluators? Anybody on Zoom, you could just raise your hand. Great. Okay, I've got Marty on as evaluator 1. Anybody in Zoom interested in being an evaluator? All right. Anybody in person? Anybody? Anybody? Tracy is another evaluator and Dave Licata. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, how about moving backwards, then we'll go to our timer. Anybody interested in being a timer? Sylvia will be our timer for that day. Excellent. Quizmaster. Anybody saying, yes, I'll try Quizmaster? Anybody on Zoom? I don't see too many people. Carol is our Quizmaster. Awesome. Quote Master. Quote Master. Any takers? Maggie, maybe? Is that a yellow and quote master? Excellent. Thank you. And Jester. Anybody feel like telling a joke? Oh, I'm picking Eric. All right, it's Eric. You didn't volunteer. Oh, you already volunteered. Sorry. Master. Anybody for Master? Yang, do you want to try Master and I'll help you with that? Or can you zoom in? It'll be tricky. It'll be challenged, but you can just count the ahs. You don't have to say Mike said this and Kate said this because you don't know everybody's name. You can just count them, okay? So we're going to have Yang be the master. And I'm going to wrap up the time since I hit the red light, but if you'd like to be the grammarian, the word master, or speakers, please let me know. And you'll hear from me again about this topic. Thank you, everybody. All right. Thank you.
Don't pick my agenda.
No, I'm putting it down.
42 years ago when we were chartered, I was excited that we were getting chartered, but I never knew how big Toastmasters was as a worldwide organization. But I'd like to point out that Toastmasters is a worldwide organization, but so is AM Lockport, and we're going to prove it right now. Nancy Ferry, is she? Oh, there she is. Thank you. She is going to evaluate speaker number 3, who is Marshall. He's got some information here if you can help yourself, or you probably already got it because you're officious. Nancy Ferry.
I thought I'd bring a little more sunshine up here. We got 3 yellow blouse shirts. You don't have a blouse, sorry. But the yellow brings sunshine. I think maybe we've had a lot of rain and we're looking forward to some sunshine. Also looking forward to hearing Marshall's song. Because of Zoom, we don't have to segregate anybody. We can join from China. So glad to have you. And I'm so glad to be able to evaluate you this morning. Marshall, Marshall's speaking from the Visionary Communication Level 2, Introduction to Toastmaster Mentoring. Time, Miss and Ms. Timer is 5 to 7 minutes, and his title is 1, 2, 3 Mentoring. I'm looking forward to it. Marshall Song.
And now we go worldwide via Echo Satellite. It's Marshall's song. Marshall.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the 2 speakers after mother and the daughter. I feel I'm the grandson now. Now, welcome to our family speech contest. Do you have mentor? Are you someone's mentor? I used to consider what could a mentor do to direct our speech, to teach us about pathways, or tell us segregation is totally wrong, maybe more. In my Chinese Toastmaster Club, we invented the 1, 2, 3 mentoring system. It turned a loose club into a strong and united one. Do you want to know what 1, 2, 3 means? Want or not, I'm sharing with you now. For 1 means your mentor is your lifelong mentor. Don't worry. The first month after you join the Toastmaster, you can get a temporary mentor. The temporary mentors would help new members to know what is Toastmaster, the condition of our club, the title of our officers, and all the names of our members. They also teach new members how to use our website pathways and to deliver them to give their icebreaker speech. Through that speech, all the members could know more about the new members. After the new members chose their lifelong mentors, our club would buy some flowers and hold a ceremony for them. The lifelong mentors will direct their students to learn pathways, modify their speech scripts, help them to make rehearsals, and give them advices after their speeches. Moreover, in daily life, they can also become good friends. In that club, 90% members were under 35 years old, and 70% were single. We were from different places of China and lonely in this new city. Mentors became new members' friends. They usually go out to have some sports or coffee together. 2 means we can have 2 mentors. One is from our club, another is from other clubs. We have 9 Toastmaster clubs in my city. Every club has its own unique characteristics. We usually visit each other and we know each other. We would ask new members if they want to concentrate on presentation or leadership. Then we help them to find a seasoned member from other clubs. For example, if Philip wants to be a speech contest champion, we can invite a champion from other club to be his mentor. Maybe Philip is already a champion now. If Kate wants to be the district director, we can ask her if the former district director of other club wants to be her mentor. So we have more choices to help our new members. Three means we have 3 levels in our mentoring system. We were a new club. We only had 2 seasoned members. For other members, they will join the Toastmaster under 1 year. And many of us were not good at English. My level is almost the middle of us. So that the 2 members can't direct all of us. We divided our members to 3 levels. Level 2, that is 2 seasoned members. Level 1. Level 2 is members who join the Toastmaster from 6 months to 1 year. Level 3, who join the Toastmaster under 6 months. And then level 1 only direct level 2. Level 2 only direct level 3. Since we use the 1, 2, 3 mentoring system, members had more passion. They became more and more active because not only they got knowledge, but also they made friends. I was always thinking about what is the difference between Toastmaster and school. I believe that Toastmaster provide more social opportunities to the lonely adults like me. We need friends. We need righteous Toastmaster friends in our study and daily life. I hope this 1, 2, 3 mentoring system could help you. Thank you. Go back to Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Marshall. We're just going to take a breath and give the timer a moment to collect her thoughts. And now we're going to put the pressure on and say, Maggie, how did they do time-wise?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Time-wise, everybody qualified. Beth, 6:46. Kate squeaked in, 7:26. And Marshall at 7:13.
All right. Thank you, Maggie. Please mark your ballots for best speaker. Take your time. When they named North Park, they changed the name from North Park to Aaron Moselle. He did have some descendants show up. And one was a lady, I believe she was from the capital area or Maryland. And the newspaper did due diligence and reported on other descendants, and they're quite an accomplished bunch. So it carried on. And I joined that Facebook page with historic markers. And I went down and I shot the historic markers by Market Street and Exchange Street or Spring Street. They keep changing the name of that street. And I had people that had left the area, but I'm still in contact with them on Facebook and said, "Oh, yeah, I didn't know anything about him." Well, I didn't either until the things bubbled up. And oh, darn me. There's a street not far from the school. There's a building that was a beautiful brick building home. It was a home, but somebody painted it lime green or something. And now, to their credit, I say the brick color is coming back. And I don't know if it's going to be a private home or maybe a little monument to Aaron Moselle and the hard work that he did. All right, now let's get on with this evaluating business. Our first evaluator, evaluating Beth Banks, is Mary Cavanero. How long? That's all right.
It's only my second time. So, Beth, thank you for giving such an interesting speech. You excelled at using body language. It was very good. You did pretty good at eye contact. I liked your hand gestures. Good facial expression. You gave stories with your experience about calling 911. You did good on time compared to some people. So what you might need to work on is putting your speech on the website instead of texting me at 5 something this morning. She told me to say that. You might want more vocal variety, for example, using more fiestics when you talk about 911. You might want to challenge yourself to think about more action, such as when you see something, call 911. I'm looking forward to hearing more interesting speeches from you. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. And once again, 9 batters later, he's back on the on-deck circle. Who else could it be but our own Mike Florio, number 7 in your program, number 1 in our hearts.
Thanks, Dave, fellow Toastmasters, and of course, Kate. I love Kate's energy when she gets up here. You know, I think Kate could read the telephone book and make it kind of exciting and fun, honestly. And she took the equivalent of that with our agendas and went through it and actually pulled it off and did a great job. And I was VP of Education last year. And I know how difficult that job can be, especially in the beginning. So what Kate did was brilliant, right? She brought it right out and got the first one done because I was all over the board going, oh my God, how am I going to get this done? And I finally did, and it was a little helter-skelter, but she knew what she was doing today. She killed 2 birds with one stone. She got a speech in, and she also got in the first week, which is really good. Kate's gestures are really natural, very easy. She looks over everybody in the classroom, and she she puts people on the spot. Now that was a little bit, there was everybody, you could see everybody kind of churning in their chair a little bit going, oh my gosh, am I going to be the Toastmaster? Do I really have a speech ready? But she pulled that off very good, where she said to people, all right, are you going to do it? Are you? So I thought that was really good. There was no pressure, right? No pressure at all. No. Kate tends to throw in a lot of material in a short period of time, and sometimes the message might get a little bit lost, but everybody knew where she was going this time. And even though she was getting to the point where she was running out of time trying to even stuff even more information in, she had the presence of mind to see, okay, I'm running out of time here, and why don't we just get a few more in here? And we're gonna, sometimes it's almost as if sold. But she does get it in there, and she does it in a very kind and really warm way. So next time I'll bring the Lockport telephone book, and we'll have Kate kind of go through, and I'll be very curious to see how that goes. Mr. Toastmaster.
The phone book is a good idea. Then Kate's mother could sit on it and maybe see what's going on there. Oh, lined right up and not wasting any time. The very deliberate Nancy Ferry.
Oh, Marshall, what a great, oh, Marsha. That's an American thing you may not know, but it was the Brady Bunch. They used to say Marsha. Anyway, Marshall, what a great speech. Love to hear your enthusiasm. You are so passionate about whatever subject you talk about, and today was no exception. Your enthusiasm, it just exuberates and comes right through. I noticed the sandwich approach. Your opening was wonderful. And your facial expressions, your hand gestures, when you're thinking and you're doing this face, it's sorry, I didn't mean to pull away from, when you're doing this thinking, and it's just wonderful. Especially when you're on Zoom, you need to use a lot of hand gestures and expression because it can be kind of hard to listen or to watch on Zoom. Harder, not hard, but harder. Easier in person for me. Your conclusion was to reiterate the theme, bring us back to where you started. You had great grammar. Your English has improved 1,000%. I'm so excited to be able to understand you and to know what you're saying for the whole speech. In the beginning, there were times when I missed a little bit here and there, and I didn't miss a thing. So I was so excited about that. Your humor. I love your sense of humor, your tenacity, you're enthusiastic. The simplicity of mentoring. You put it in 1, 2, 3. I love it. Instead of going on and on and on about how you have to mentor this and that, you gave us 3 simple ways. The simplicity of mentoring, being a temporary mentor to start, and then the lifelong. Wasn't sure I like that lifelong term. I would say more long term, but I'm not sure I want to commit to a lifetime of mentoring somebody. I feel like I do that with my kids. And then you had the third one was the 3 levels of mentoring. Very systematic, very well done. The only thing I could think of improving is to be here. We miss you. We'd love to see you one day. Wonderful speech. Thank you so much for all that you bring to us from your clubs.
Thank you very much, Nance. Maggie, how did we do on time?
So our final timing report of the morning Mary came in at 150. So I believe that's 10 seconds under. Mike at 250 and Nancy at 244. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Okay. See, Mary, thanks to the buffer, you qualified. All right, so please vote. When I joined Sunrise Optimist Club a long time ago, I got to know Les Robinson better. I knew of him, but I wasn't at a club level or any kind of friendship. But since then, I've admired his how hard he works and how deliberate he is. So he's general evaluator. I'm going to turn the meeting over to him. He can now take over. He can decide if he wants me to call for reports or he can call for reports, whatever he prefers to do. Class, Les Robinson.
Thank you, Dave. Today was Yellow Shirt Day, if you didn't get the email from Dave. I just wanted you all to know that. So we're going to hold this meeting off and talk about yellow shirts that will segregate everybody for the next 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. But overall, I'd like to say that all the job holders did a great job. I'm going to go to the evaluators and then I'm going to call on the reports and we'll bring it back to the winners that Dave will let us know. And then we will draw for the 50-50. First of all, Mary, I was at your first evaluation and to your second evaluation, and I'm going to cut right to it. On a 1 to 10, you improved 300%, and you are getting better, more approving, more effective every time. And I want to give you a big thumbs up. Win. Next evaluator, Mike Florio. Mike, you did a great job. Everything was wonderful. I loved your hand gestures. You brought in Kate's speech. You pushed it through. You could actually re-see or refeel Kate's speech. Everything was great. Great eye contact. Nancy, I loved how you brought in with Marshall. The only one little thing is I would lower the mic just a little because watching on Zoom, it was kind of in front of your face. But your compliments of Marshall was very great. And I did like your thing about not mentoring someone for the rest of life. I know what Marshall meant through his speech, but I understand what you said. You both took it from two different aspects, which was great. The other thing is what I think we need to do with the timing is have a standardization with everybody. So there's a green light or a piece of paper on the video because every time I see a timer, it's always a different standard. And I think we should come to some uniform way. And I'm not exactly sure how to do that, but that was just something because sometimes I've been timed and you see the card, sometimes you see the light, sometimes you see something over in the corner. So I think we should have some standard process on there. Dave, I loved your topic. It was excellent. I love the yellow shirt. Overall, I enjoyed everything. And now we're going to go to the job holders. And our first one will be the WAG Master, Tracy Farrell. How did the word of the day do?
Sorry, I'm pushing Dave out of the way. Thank you, General Evaluator. Our word of the day did so. Dave used it 7 times. Darcy once, Nancy once, and Les, you pushed it in too, as well as all of our table topics people. The Oz. Marty, you surprised me. You had about 4 or 5 Oz. Everybody else, there's a 1 here and a 1 there, but nothing remarkable. For grammar, I'm not the best at this, but I found some interesting things. Lockport now has an overpass versus a bypass. We have we are a metropolis here. Nancy, there was a debate in the back of the room. Is harder a word? Apparently it is okay. I kind of went along with difficult, but we did decide gooder is not good. Unless you also said very great. That kind of became your word of the day is great, great. And I'm not too very great. You could have said excellent or fantastic or something a lot more. I don't know, something. But anyways, that is my report. Thank you, Mr. Table. And Mr.
Back to Les.
All right. Yes, well, because great is the word I'm going to France for about 6 days or 7 days, and I'm learning French and I'm trying to learn basic words, and great actually is kind of ironically I'm one of the key words I'm learning so I can talk French, which is very hard. Now we will go to the quizmaster, Margot.
Well, I was going to help Tracy out by asking everybody what's the word of the day.
Segregation.
All right, everybody used it, Tracy. There we go. Dave gave one fact about Aram Moselle twice. He thought it was that important. What year did he desegregate Lockport schools?
1865.
1872.
Thank you, Dave. How many times did Beth call 911?
A lot.
Beth called it 3 times.
Thank you. What very important change near and dear to my heart is Kate announced for the new schedule? Anybody who knows my lobbying will be able to answer that.
Oh, yes, the jobs, yes.
Yes, splitting up the WAG-master back into 3 jobs.
Right.
And what does Mike Florio want to hear Kate read for her next speech?
A phone book.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Margot. Les, is there anybody else we have to call on?
I think we are good. All I think we have to do is remind everybody, basically next week we are going to be back on Zoom, correct?
No.
2 weeks.
We're here.
We're here next week?
Yeah.
Next week's our last week, correct?
What? We are here next week in the Y.
Okay. Just remind everybody.
Then we're all going, next week we're going to breakfast at
Is the office.
No, today.
Today? Really?
Yeah, because Eric's not here.
Oh. Sorry, lost track.
I get to come up and.
Oh, you're gonna close the meeting?
Yeah, I mean.
But I have to, thank you, Mary, for bringing me up to speed on that.
Okay, well, I will pass that over to Mary now. She can run the meeting.
Oh,
Thank you.
No, not yet. No. You can sit down now, Les.
I am sitting down. Okay. So I will pass the meeting. I'll pass the meeting back to you.
We're each name our best table topic speaker, but we have to go to the land of Zoom. It's Phil Russell. And to tell a child out of school, Phil was so sick yesterday he couldn't join us for golf. And I was awfully lonely in that cart by myself, but I'll get over it. The best evaluator, Nancy Ferry. There's no rush. I wish this was a red ribbon, but it's blue. Congratulations. Yellow. Oh, then it would be gold. We could have a gold ribbon. Best speaker is Beth Banks. Oh, she peaked. That's why she's coming up. Oh, no, she's coming up with the lotto. Yeah, so I get to hold the jar and she gets to reach.
Here we go. Let's see. 971.
It's a 971. Let me get over and check mine. Hang on.
Did somebody?
I bought, he's checking. Is it one of those 9? It's not Dave. It's you pulled your own number?
It's Margot again. Now you have to give her the money. Maybe the hell it didn't hear it.
Margot, you won the split club. You won the split club last week, but it was $3. So I reinvested the 3 today. I doubled down and everything worked out swell. And I'm going to try to remember to give the money to Michael. So when he goes to work, he can give it to you. Wow. Oh, I don't know. This looks pretty tempting, Margot. I wouldn't trust me. All right. I think we're done here. And now I will invite Mary Cabanero. What, here? You want me to hold the thing? Okay.
Is there any final announcements?
Oh.
Marty, come on up after Kate.
Yep, I'm faster.
Do I have to hold this?
Yeah, you can get ready with it. Thank you very much. Our Toastmaster next week is Nancy Ferry. Nancy, do you have a theme yet decided or to be determined? It is also our club officer installation, since it was bumped to next week. Avis will either be on Zoom or in person to lead that at the beginning of the meeting, and then we'll roll into the meeting. There's a change in the lineup for speakers. Carol, are you able to speak next week? You're on for speaking. And also we have, I can't remember Maggie is confirmed speaking. And there's a change up, Nancy. Darcy will be our third speaker, and Mike was on, but he's going to bump Mike Licata to July 3rd, so we arranged that. So looks like we're in order for next week. Watch your emails for that. Again, it's the last meeting hybrid. Be ready to be on Zoom the week after. So if you have questions about getting on Zoom, how that works, we are here for you. Marty, I would love to hand the lectern over to you.
Thank you, Kate. Just two quick announcements. I was looking at the dashboard, the performance report for our district and specifically for our club, and we're doing a fantastic job. But to segregate a couple portions of it, I'm looking at specifically at membership. And some of you may know that in order to be a distinguished club, you have to achieve 5 different goals, whether they're pathway, achievements, whether they're officer trainings, whether they're administrative goals like getting the paperwork and dues and membership lists, officer lists in on time. Those are some of the goals, but you can have 8 goals completed, but the prerequisite, everyone knows what a prerequisite is. Like in college, you had to take required courses before, prerequisite type things is membership. So right now we're shy of 1 member in order to be a select distinguished. In order to be, and correct me if I'm missing that, but from what I see, we have 3 new members with Darcy, Maggie, and Yang. So we need 1 more member to reach goal number 7 is under our membership, new members, 4 members, and we have 3, we need 1 more. So I'm going to follow up with a couple people that were in the loop and then invite a guest to the next couple meetings, because this time frame for our Toastmaster year ends actually at the end of the month. So next week could be a golden opportunity to bring in a new member. So think of someone that you think could benefit from Toastmasters. What have you got to lose? Invite them for the next meeting, because I can honestly say that, we may not, it's going to be tough to be President's Distinguished this year, as I'm looking at it. And the second main point and final point is we're doing great with all the awards. Right now, without the membership goal, we have 6 goals. So we need that 1 new member. And then I'm looking at level 1 awards for educational awards. The goal is to have 4 level 1s, and right now we have 1 to date. So we need 3 level 1s in pathways. So take a look at your pathway progress, where you are in pathways, and all the different projects. If you need another speech or 2 speeches to get pathways, you can give it here, the speech. We need 3 people for level 1s. I'm going to personally look, because I think I might have a pathway level 1. And whether it means adjusting the schedule, sorry if I'm forcing something for the next meeting, someone to speak to get that speech in, or you can give it at another club and we can get credit for that. So keep that in mind. We would like to, try to continue the tradition of President's Distinguished, which is reaching 9 goals. But right now we're at 6 without the membership. And I will end with that. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know, or any of the other officers. And I'll turn the meeting back over to Mary Elizabeth. Thank you, Mary. Well done today. Good job, Mary.
I'm trying to get more people to join. It's VP coming up. This meeting is adjourned.